like, how did you buy all this stuff? So you came here, and then you couldn't. Kathy, is the meeting really scheduled to go to 4 o'clock?
Yep. Yeah.
Oh.
Plaintiff Robert Gorey dated the defendant, and they have a child together. Robert claims when his relationship with the defendant got rocky, he regrettably cheated on her and sex for the value of personal property. Defendant Cynthia Dominguez says things with
we're getting some results on 5 South Water Street.
Yeah.
Robert assaulted her again, and now he hasn't seen their son in 3 months. She's countersuing for emotional distress.
All rise. This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Greg Mathis presiding.
Hey, Kathy, can you mute? Somebody has their radio on or something.
It's not me. It's
I
probably...
do. I'm turning it off.
Thanks, Diane.
Oh, Ray didn't forget about today. Just text him.
Me?
Oh, you're here? Sorry.
I did not forget.
Okay.
Oh, Ray.
Oh,
Hi, John. Let's see. I want to make sure I'm just going through here. So Stephen Welch actually gave me a much condensed version of this remotely conducted meeting script, which I'm going to give it a try. Diane, you had said that, Ken Bogrand was using some very, very short thing, which appeals to me immensely. Abby.
He read it at the last CPC meeting.
The last CPC?
Yep.
Ray.
Hi, John.
Yeah, I had a request in for you to call me on a landline, please.
Me?
Yes. I need less than 2 minutes.
A landline? Can I call you on my cell, John?
Yes.
Because I don't have a landline where I am. Got your number. Hey, John, I'm going to mute off of this just for a second, okay?
They really make her job. Yeah.
Yes, Ray. Ray. Yeah, Ray. Is this between you and me? Okay. I'm not sitting on it, and I know it, but I would like to ask.
Needs to mute. John needs to mute.
I'm trying to mute him.
John, you need to mute. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, we're back. I think I have everybody on. So I'm going to use, Stephen Welch has provided me with a much condensed version of the Governor Baker COVID announcement. So good afternoon. For the record, I'm Ray Pohl, Chairman of the Nantucket Historic District Commission. Let me confirm that the following members are present. Please say aye when I call your names. Diane Coombs.
Aye.
Thank you. John McLaughlin. I think John might still be muted. I'm going to move on to Val.
Aye.
Thank you. Abby Camp.
Aye.
Carrie Thornwell.
Aye.
Very good. And staff, when I call your names, same deal, please answer in the affirmative. Holly Backus. Probably muted. Kathy Flynn.
Present.
Okay. John, are you unmuted yet?
Yes, I'm ready to make a statement.
Oh, no, hang on. Just say aye.
Sure.
Right now,
Aye.
we're taking a roll call. Thank you. I'll get
Aye.
back to you in a second. Holly?
What statement is?
Okay, is Holly muted? If people would just unmute when they're supposed, oh, and Stephen Welch has just joined us, so let's put him on the list. Okay, Stephen, can you answer in the affirmative, please?
Yeah.
Thank you. Holly, are you unmuted yet? You're not. Okay, I'm just going to move on. Okay, this is an open meeting of the Nantucket Historic District Commission. It's being conducted remotely, consistent with Governor Baker's order March 12th, 2020. That order, posted with agenda materials for this meeting, allows public bodies to convene remotely so long as public access with deliberations is reasonably Stephen, did you write this? Reasonably provided. This meeting is convening via Zoom with video and audio recording, and we are being broadcast via YouTube on the town's YouTube channel. With no members of the public having asked to speak, this particular meeting will not feature public comment. Materials provided to members of this meeting or provided during the meeting are, unless otherwise noted, available on the town's website. During the meeting, I'll introduce agenda topics and speakers. Please remember to mute your Zoom audio when your name is called, until your name is called. And let's direct comments and questions through the chair to avoid crosstalk and make taking of minutes easier. Lastly, our votes today will be taken via roll call vote. With that said, we'll move on to the regular meeting. So the first order of business would be to get a motion to approve today's agenda.
So move.
Thank you, Diane. Let's see. I believe we have all of our regular members on that motion. John?
Aye.
Thank you. Val?
Aye.
Abby?
Aye.
Diane?
Aye.
And I'm in favor, so that motion carries. Okay, so the agenda is approved. Now, our first order of business is public comment. And I understand that John would like to make a statement as a board member. John?
Yes.
The microphone is yours.
Thank you. Here it is. One of the oldest consistent policies of my 50-odd years on the commission should be steadily enforced as it has been for years. It should be that no more than 30 feet above existing grade before any construction starts, and the roof ridge line, no ridge lines at all. We've done that for years now, and that's one of my strongest points I like to make, that nothing can go over 30 feet high without the commission's approval and a good reason for it. And I don't think they should go over 30 feet anywhere on the island. I appreciate the time for this. I've got a few problems. I got to get off of this. I thank you very much for the time.
Oh, well, thank you, John. Thank you for the public comment.
I hope they stick to that policy. Thank you.
Okay, now, so John, are you exiting Zoom now?
I'm in Zoom. Yeah.
No, but I mean, are you staying with us now?
Yes. If you this is 5 the address.
Okay, hang on, John.
Yes,
You're finished with your public comment right now, okay?
yes.
Correct?
Okay, all right, okay, yeah. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So that brings us to new business carried over from October 27th. And sadly, we were interrupted, and I have to apologize again for the awful event of last Tuesday night. I know it was very traumatizing for everyone. And we've been talking back and forth, and we understand how the issue came to pass. So we're able to correct our operating procedure to make sure that that doesn't happen again in the future. So again, I'm sorry that you all had to endure that awful event. Having said that, we're now on to the actual applications that were under review when that event shut down our feed. So that would be new business, but continued new business from Tuesday at 69.5 Cliff Road. And I'll remind all of you that the members sitting on that application are myself, Diane, John, Abby, and Carrie, okay? All of whom are present right now. So that is for both of the applications, and I think I just saw Joe Topham there. Okay, Joe, so we're back.
We're back. Yeah, sorry about that unfortunate situation. But thank you for rehearing this. Again, this is a new structure that's going to go on an existing foundation. So we're not relocating anything. We are taking the first floor framing off of the southern mass and going to go up with a story and a half. There's a 2-story element to the rear, the north side, where the roof walk is now. That is going to go up to a story and a half or story and 3/4. Holly, do you want to go back to those photographs?
Please.
So I put in a request for, hopefully the board members could go do a drive-by of this site to show it's almost invisible. And if you made it, thank you. If you didn't, here's some photographs to help show the site. So this is from Cliff Road looking down the way, and to the right is
sorry, Joe, right now we're in between photos.
Yeah, I know.
So,
She's going away.
But
this is about halfway down the driveway, and you still can't see the Padarus house. So this is now on the Padarus.
Joe, I'm sorry to interrupt, but could we go back to the very first photograph? I have to ask you a question about that one.
Shoot.
Holly?
It's thinking.
Whose screen share is this? Holly's or yours, Joe?
Holly.
Holly. Okay, that. Okay, so this is the drive-in.
So this is, yes.
Well, so the building that I'm looking at just past the hedge with the dormer with the 2 windows in it, is that the house?
That's the Griffin's house.
Okay, so that's not your project.
No, but
your project is further down the road.
Yes, we're 300 feet off the street.
Okay, just want to make sure.
Yep.
Okay.
So, and this is the Griffin's property, and so the brick driveway getting down to the Padarus house, we have to go by the Griffin's house. I think 71R Cliff, I think is going to be coming to the HCC shortly. I know that being on the Concom, we just got an application for that. But anyways, so can we go to the next photo?
This is important. So one thing that you just said, in order to access your property, do you go over an easement?
Yes.
On Griffin's property?
Yes.
You do. So folks, I want to be really clear on all this. The public way in this case is not that brick drive that we're looking at. It is actually Cliff Road.
Yes. And so without this easement, and Ray, you'll like this one, this would be a landlocked property, so that can't happen.
Correct.
So this is, thankfully we have this, but the Padarus are in the back. But as you can see, the grade coming from Cliff Road it's sloping down, and it goes down a good 6 or 7 feet from Cliff Road.
Okay.
So the Griffin's house estimation from Ethan's drawings, it has the house around 29 feet. But Holly, can you go to the next couple of photos?
29 feet high to the ridge.
29 feet high, and it's about 4 to 5 feet above the Padarus grade.
Got it.
We're not asking for any fill on the north side of the property, but on the south side, we want to come up 6 to 8 inches just to level it. That again is the Griffin's property. Next.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, yeah, I can see the wheel spinning on our mouse. So now we've entered into the Padarus property. The house you can see in the background is 1 Hamlin Way. And I know it's kind of difficult for you to see, but there's a little tiny hole in the privet. And you can see a 4 foot high concrete retaining wall. Go down a little bit lower. Yeah, down lower. And you can see that. To the right is a wall behind their shed. It's a 67-inch high retaining wall. So it just shows the grade difference from 69.5 to 1 Hamlin Way.
Mm-hmm.
The next photo, if you could. Sorry, that's a duplicate.
Yeah.
This next photo is going to be a close-up of the retaining wall, and I have photographs from both sides of from the Padarus property and standing on 1 Hamlin Way. So there's the 1 retaining wall out of multiple that wraps around the property. So to John's point, I don't think that could happen, you know, going above, you know, raising the grade and trying to get around 30 feet. So this is opposite side. So now I'm, you know, gone from the east side to the west side. That's the retaining wall in the background, the backyard. And that tiers up to another platform on the back, but without trespassing, we weren't able to get that. But from the aerials, you can see that.
Okay.
Next. So this is their driveway, and we have just this very tight shotgun view of the Padarus second floor. And then you can see it's a full 2-story element in the back there now.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why we went up that. We kept that rear mass as the main mass. That's why we had that ridge height going up and higher than the 2 additive massing, 1 to the south and 1 to the east. Next, please.
That photo with the car, and it was taken from Hamlin, right?
That's from Hamlin, and that's the only shot that you have. But you can see that her car driveway is, you know,
yeah,
right at the center of the windows.
Right.
So this is the Padarus house,
Yep.
and that house is 14 North Star Way.
Hmm.
Doing Stephen Welch's shingle count, I estimate that building to be anywhere from 20.5 feet to 30 feet. It is a very tall building. It's very
29.5.
29.5, yeah. So, but taking 5 inches, it's over 30 feet, which I know that's not right. So it may be a little smaller shingle course. The next one is just going to show the Padarus house with 14 North Star, excuse me.
Can I say something?
Yes.
I drove by here and this house in the background, this one at 14 North Star, is visible. The house, this Padar house, is not visible. The one in the background looms sort of over the Padar house as it sits now.
Yeah, and so there's Carrie, there's a 5 foot retaining wall between the Padarus property to 14 Hamlin as well. So we are in a pit.
Joe,
yeah,
let's just hear out. Let's see what Carrie was going to say.
I was just going to say that the house in the background looms above this house. So I think the house that's being put here is just now going to be somewhat visible and the one in the background won't be visible. So it's sort of replacing one with another. That's my only comment.
Okay,
for now.
thanks. All right, Joe, continue.
So this is 14 North Star, and you can just barely see in the background looking over the shower stall. You can see the Padarus roof. And the next picture is a project I worked on at 10 North Star, and you can see the chimney mast, and I think just the part of the gable. The next photo, Ollie. Yeah, so there you can just see the ridge there. So there's tiny little snapshots. You will see the ridge, but it's not visible otherwise. You know, I don't think you'll see windows or doors or anything from the second.
Okay. Well, with that, I mean, obviously everything that you said really was about the lack of visibility of this building because it's sort of isolated in the middle there. So why don't we look at the elevations? We saw these on Tuesday, but let's take a look at them again. And do we have anyone online that wants to speak to this application other than Joe? Before I move forward with comments from my board.
Ethan Griffin here.
Hi, Ethan.
Hi. I don't think we have anything to add other than what's already been submitted. I think, Joe's 100% correct. This is definitely down in a bit of a hole. But the other comments we have, I think, are still potentially relevant.
On the house?
Correct. Do you want me to run through those again?
Yeah, I mean,
sure.
Well, on Tuesday night.
Yeah, the only thing I think it's worth looking into is the massing remaining story and a half, and then possibly looking at shed dormers instead of the gable dormers. But other than that, we have no concerns with the project.
Okay, thank you, Ethan. Okay, board members, and let's see, I'm going to go through the board members that are sitting on this application, and I'd like to hear from all of you, of course. Diane, you're on this. John, you're on this. Abby and Carrie. Who would like to begin? By the way, we're doing the new house, and then we're going to go back to the demo of the existing house after we've completed our business on this one. Who would like to begin?
Ray,
Yes.
could we see the existing elevations to go along with the proposed?
Well, it's basically a new house, Diane. Joe is keeping the footprint of the building. He's going to build on the existing foundation, but everything from the foundation up is brand new.
It's brand new. Okay, that's I thought so, but then I wasn't sure. I would like to make on the east elevation.
Okay,
I'd like to know
east.
That's going to be seen. Joe is saying that only the roof is going to be seen, and we're keeping under 30 feet. So is east, other than the roof, there's no part of this that's going to be visible, right?
Correct.
Okay, so that the windows and stuff like that doesn't make any difference. So could I go down to the next, if it's just the roof, and you're not going to see the 1.5 story because it's below the visibility line, then I don't have anything to say except with the suggestion that the roof walk be removed to keep it under the 30 feet and to keep it not so visible. I'd rather see a chimney than the roof walk.
Okay.
So I am going on the proposal that nothing but the roof can be seen from any direction.
I think Joe's demonstrated that pretty well, and Carrie has as much as said the same thing.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Diane. Carrie, why don't we check in with you? Where are you on this? You're muted, dear. Hang on.
Sorry.
There you go. Okay.
I think it's a decent looking house, and I don't, even if some of it is visible, I don't see anything wrong with seeing this house. Some of the windows on a few of the elevations seem small, but again, I don't think it's inappropriate. And the house behind it, when I drove by, I went really slowly to see how I could see it, and the house behind it was standing out. So I think this house will maybe match or even still be lower than the house behind it. So I'm in favor of this.
Okay. Thanks, Carrie. Abby?
Yeah, I drove down here too, and I think my only objection was this elevation that's viewing now, the north, that the windows seemed sort of randomly placed. And I agree with Diane. I think the one reason the roof walk would look strange is because it is so low from other vantage points. It's it might look like it's like just, I don't know. If you can see the roof walk, it's going to look sort of strange, sort of hanging in the air because it is so low. It's going to be at a viewpoint that's going to be strange, I think. Other than that,
Oh, they're not anymore.
Okay. Thank you, Abby. John? John?
Yes.
There you are.
Okay. And in looking at this, could they enlarge that just a little bit? It's hard to read the writing. Could they enlarge the photo?
Holly, we need to get you some more firepower. It seems like everything's moving in slow motion. There we go.
Okay, thank you. This is 28 foot, whatever, so many inches. Looking at the proposal, and this structure of it's so much above the 7-inch minimum roof pitches, we'll say. And this here has to have an 11-inch pitch. Now you could drop that down quite a bit if you put all 7-inch pitches or 8-inch pitches. That 2-inch makes a 10-inch makes a difference. And nobody has brought up the proposal of looking at changing these roofs a little less than what they are. That's my comment. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, John. Like Carrie, I think this is going to be of such limited visibility that I'm fine with it. And I think she said, even if it were visible, it's still not an unattractive building. As regards the roof walk, I think there might be a little controversy there. It does look a little odd. I don't think it quite meets the 1/3 of the ridge line criteria for roof walks. But because it's so distant, I'm not sure that I'm, terribly concerned about that. So can somebody give me a motion of some kind on this?
I have one question. What is the trim color?
I believe everything's gray. I'm going to keep it what it is now, just that Nantucket gray.
Yeah, that's great.
Okay. All right.
And that's another reason why I think the roof walk will just kind of fade.
Because that's going to be gray.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Can somebody give me a motion?
well, I was going to make one without the roof walk, but I don't know if it will fly. I'll make a motion to approve without the roof walk.
Okay. On that motion, Diane. Diane, you might be muted.
Aye.
Oh, you're in favor of approving without roof walk.
Yeah.
John?
Yes.
You're in favor, okay. Carrie?
Aye.
Okay,
Can I ask-
and Abby, you made the motion, you're in favor? Abby?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm gonna, even though I think that the roof walk is completely appropriate, I'm gonna vote in favor of this, Joe. I think that if you came back for it, you might get approval for it at a later date.
So what I was going to say is if we started to frame this and got the ridge up and came back,
Yeah, exactly.
I could do a full scale mock up for you, Ray.
Full scale mock-up. Exactly. Full scale mock-up. Okay, so I'm in favor. That motion carries. So now that we've approved the house, can we move forward with the demo of the existing house?
Yes, I'll make a motion to approve the demo.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Abby. And on that motion, Diane?
I just would like to,
Oh,
when was this, the cottage or the one without demolishing, when was it built?
There was never a survey on it, so we looked at the 1950s, but it's then was renovated in 1984 by Steve Cousins. So
No.
that the rear mass was added on in the garage addition.
All I want to know is if it's an old building, we should notice it in the papers that its original building was such and such a year. We're trying to do that. We forget about making that notation. That's all I'd like to do.
okay. I don't believe this is an old building. I mean,
Okay. I thought it was, remembering from when we were doing it, I thought it was old and then not well recognized. But anyway, I'm agreeable.
Okay, so you're in favor of the motion.
Yep.
Carrie?
Aye.
Thank you. John?
Aye.
All right. Abby?
Aye.
All right, and I'm in favor too, so that motion carries. Okay, so Joe, that's it for you. Next up, hopefully Lisa's on.
I am.
You are, okay. So Diane, if you can share this, that would be great. I'm gonna
Yep.
mute. Okay, thank you.
Okay, Lisa.
Hi, everybody. This is a very simple application. It's for a shed on 6 Shakamo. It's a little unusual, the shed, but you approved one at 4 Shakamo. And just to refresh your memory, Shakamo Road is the road that comes off of Gardner that dead ends 2 doors down from this. So it's not really a thoroughfare of a road. And the existing house at 6 Shakamo is an old timber frame barn that's been there since, I think Design Associates built it. So it's probably built in the 1980s, late 80s, early 90s. So the shed is sort of a take on that. It's a little bit more of a rural sort of lean-to shed.
Okay,
I don't know if you want
that's
to
all.
go through the drawing. Yeah.
Can we see the elevations?
Here we go. So, Val,
I'm still trying to look at it. Hold on. I think if there's no visibility, it's okay.
okay. Lisa, what do you think about the
I'm not gonna say
visibility?
it's no visibility, but it's very limited. I mean, I think that visibility would be very limited. You might be able to peek in there going down the driveway and see it, but there's a lot of vegetation. So if you guys wanted to sort of view it and look at it, you could do that.
I have a question for you, Lisa. Would it be possible? It's just, I think the odd form of the north and the south overhang, would that be something that could be maybe replaced by a bracket there? which looks a
Yeah,
little-
potentially. She really liked this. She found a rural image of something like this, and she really liked this form. But yeah, I'm sure we could work with you on that. That is the part that's closest to the property line with number 4, so I think it's the least visible.
Okay. Abby,
I think I'm okay with the placement of it. I think, we'd make that the vegetation is kept and maybe even spruced up a bit, so it would be minimally visible. But I'm with Val on this. I don't understand the bracket undercut there, in that it also doesn't even have a window on it. Like, I could see that if it was sort of a porch into a door, but it's on the west. Is that right, Lisa?
It is on, yes, I believe that's
Yeah.
right.
So I don't quite understand why it's even there. I would prefer to have it just come straight down. I don't really quite see the use for a sort of an oddly shaped shed. So those are, other than that, I'm fine with it. Are there colors on it at all, Lisa?
It's natural. The house is natural to weather.
And the doors and everything, the trim.
The doors would be blue, which is on the house.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that might draw a little bit more attention to it. So, yeah, I wouldn't mind if it was just a regular shape.
I think the lean-to, I mean, we did get the lean-to approved at the house next door, number 4. I think it's something that she's very interested in preserving.
all right. Stephen,
Yeah, I'm fine with it as it is. Thank you, Madam Chair.
all right. Johnny,
Yes, thank you. It's not a typical cut, that angle. If you ran it straight up to where it comes to the roof, that's normal for Nantucket. This is a very uncut angle to say that it's part of Nantucket. So I think you're going to want to if you want that roof hanging out there, if they got a parked car there, fine. Just put the angle brackets up and then get rid of the wall that's there.
So do a 90 at the eave and then have a regular, more traditional bracket.
yeah.
Okay, well, I think that's fine. I think also we could have you look at it when they build it, which might be a year from now, and then talk about the detail at that detail if it's really visible.
Well, why wouldn't they put the door under there? I don't understand what's its purpose.
It's to store. It's an overhang to store things behind, like things you might want to get to, like kayaks. But that you might want to still have covered.
Okay.
Okay. So can I get a motion of some sort?
Motion to approve it with the taking that 45-degree angle there off so that there is no overhang unless they want to use a roof overhang and use the 45-degree 4x4s. And that makes it typical for the neighborhood. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Stephen,
Yeah, aye.
Abby,
I'm not. Nah. I don't really understand it. Sorry.
but
I'm a nay.
Carrie?
I wasn't, I didn't comment on it originally. I thought I was not on this, but
Okay,
I've seen
I wasn't
things
sure.
like this out in rural Vermont and it doesn't bother me. It's a little unusual, but it's a tiny little shed, so I don't see that it's a problem.
Abby?
I said, I said no. I don't want to say no again.
I didn't mean to call you. I'm sorry.
Not taking it personally.
I'm
Valerie.
Aye.
Val. What? What'd you
Am I
vote?
muted?
No, I heard you.
Okay. Aye.
Aye.
There was a motion, right? Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
So the motion plays with 4 for and 1 against. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Lisa.
Yep, see you soon, hopefully.
Yep.
Okay, next up is 3 Brooks Farm Road, Hardscaping, Scots at Gardner. Do we have Marty or anybody on board? Kathy?
He wasn't here on
Here, he's-
Tuesday.
I saw him in the waiting in the area.
I thought I saw him.
Yeah. We all
No?
have bad connections today.
Yeah, the phones are really bad. Oh, I see something that says Marty. Marty, you're muted, friend, if you can hear me. Marty? Marty, we're not getting you, bud.
Hey, why don't we hold this one until we can get him on, then we can come right
Yeah,
back.
it's unfortunate because he's sitting right there. I don't know what's going on. Okay, so can we have a motion to hold that? What? Okay,
Yes, that's my motion.
wait a second. I thought I heard somebody else talking. Okay, so there's a motion on the table to hold this for representation. On that motion, Val,
Aye.
John,
Aye.
Diane,
Aye.
Abby,
Aye.
and I'm in favor. Okay. Keep us posted, Kathy. Next up, Griffin Architects, 8 Wrights Landing.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, Jesus.
Sorry, Ray.
Okay. Let's go back. Marty,
Motion to open, reopen?
Marty,
I'm here.
no, you have a terrible echo. You got to get rid of it somehow.
Okay, hang on. How about now?
Better.
Yeah. Okay. So do we need to have, we don't need to reopen this. We're holding for representation and he's here.
Okay,
So
Right.
let's go.
let's go.
I thank you, everybody, for your time. So this property at the end of Brooks Farms Road,
Can we get a locus first so that I know where this is actually?
It's off Westchester.
Okay, where off Westchester?
you know where Phil Manella's neighborhood is?
No, can I just see the locus? Yeah, I just saw it down the lower right-hand corner. It's not there anymore. There it is. Okay. Gingy, Westchester, Pilgrim. Okay, got it. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
So Brooks Farm Road,
Yeah.
little cul-de-sac off of Westchester,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, 6 houses.
Mhm.
The back of the house abuts to Mr. Manella,
Okay.
who is about 6 feet higher. Yeah. You
The
can
house
see-
that we're looking at, Marty, is that your house or Phil's
That's my
house?
house, yeah.
It's your house. Okay.
So as you can see, it's up in the air.
Mm.
I've got a rolling landscape there, covered with flowering shrubs and a little bit of grass down by the edge of the road, mirroring the rest of the neighborhood. On the left-hand side of the yard, there's a tree that I'm trying to save. So I want to put some stones around it and protect the root base. I was going to just use a native rubble stone right there. Equally in that corner, you'll see the compressors illustrated. That allows me to plant that whole area out really nicely. Privet on the sides. On the right-hand side of the garage, there's a small retaining wall that mirrors the retaining wall on the opposite side in the neighbor's yard.
Marty?
Yep.
Which side does the retainage face? Are you cutting in or are you building up higher than your neighbor?
Can you, in the middle photo, you see the garage on the right-hand side?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. On the right side of that, there is a 21 to 24 inch tall granite wall.
There already is, or you're proposing it?
No, I'm proposing it.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is it stepping down to your neighbor or up to your neighbor?
The neighbor, actually, their driveway and our driveway is at the same height, and they already have a 2-foot retaining wall on their side. So we're putting a 2-foot one on our side and keeping the privacy plantings that they put in.
I'm still not understanding. So if the neighbors already have a wall, are the neighbors lower than you or higher than you? Just
They're
say
lower.
yes. Which?
Lower.
Lower. So the retainage is facing the neighbor.
No, the retaining is facing our driveway.
It would be helpful if we had some topography.
Yeah. It's
Okay.
like,
I'm sorry we don't have that right now, but the driveway that they have is 2 feet below the existing grade on the property on the right side. And yeah, okay. So right there, oh, sorry. On the right side of the plan, and that's from where I'm
can
looking
you just
at.
go to the plan, please?
Okay, yep. Can I click on that, Ray?
Click on what?
The plan?
I don't know. I mean, I think this is Holly's screen share.
Okay. So Holly, where it says, I'm sorry, the plan is upside down in reverse for me. On the right side in front of the garage, there's a statement.
We're getting the echo again, Marty.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah. And Holly, can you please move the thing over to the left so that I can see the retaining wall? Thank you.
You see, Ray, where the number 105.72 is?
Yes.
Okay. That on the left side of that, there's a straight line, and that's the retaining wall.
Yeah, I know where it is. I'm asking you, and I think I got an answer, that the retainage is facing your neighbor.
No, the neighbor has another wall on their side with their house.
So
Yes.
your retaining faces into your property.
Yes, it's only seen from our side.
Okay, and it's 18 inches high.
No, it says maximum height of 27. That's way in the back corner.
Okay, all right. Okay, continue.
Okay, so I think the important thing on this project, I've maintained the existing grades.
You're echoing again.
Okay. I've maintained the existing grades. The back question is the one that we look at. There's two items I think are worth reviewing. To the left of the garage, there's a retaining wall, 8-foot concrete wall. Yep. You see that?
Okay, that, again, that faces into your property, correct?
So I want to veneer the face of the cement wall.
It faces into your property, correct? Marty,
Yeah, hang on, let me see here. Yes, it does.
right, so your neighbor, your neighbor is 8 feet above you. Marty, look, I see a bottom of wall at 31.5 and a top of wall at 34. That's only 30 inches of height, not 8 feet. We're talking about the retaining wall that's right next to the garage. Marty. God.
I think, Mr. Chair, maybe we should, I know it was
So
on
much
the,
time on this. What were
Right.
you going to say, Val?
I was gonna say, I know it was on the view pack, but maybe some people didn't get to see it. We could request more photos and more information perhaps, what
Yeah,
the
and topo and
topography
stuff.
actually is.
Yeah,
And it will be clearer to us and maybe more photos of what's actually there.
yeah, like on the property. So Marty, if you hear us, I think we're going to motion that because
We're gonna motion to hold for more information and,
Another view.
and another view. Okay.
And can I make a suggestion?
What?
Can I make a suggestion that the
Yeah.
property behind this particular thing is up there in Gingy Lane,
Yeah.
and it goes down, drops down to Brookfield Road, whatever the name of it is.
Yeah.
Perhaps we should know that because it must be an 8 to 12 foot drop from Gingy Lane down.
It is. That's correct. Okay.
All right,
So
let's take a vote on that motion.
yeah, we're going to take a vote on that motion, and that was Val's motion. So the motion is for more information and a viewing. On the motion, Diane,
Aye.
John.
Mr. Chairman, I have a comment on the motion.
Yes.
I was looking at the plot plan. Is there an underground garage there?
The answer is yes, right? I don't know, John.
It says garage beneath.
Yeah, we're going to get more information. So are you in favor of the motion?
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Abby,
Yes, aye.
did I get everybody?
Aye.
Yeah,
What's the number on it again?
the number?
Yeah, the number of the address.
It's 3 Brook Farm Road.
Yeah.
Thank you.
3 Brooks Farm Road. And I'm in favor of that motion. Motion carries. Okay, now we're going to get along to Griffin. Man, unbelievable.
Yeah, probably not a good day to go till 4 o'clock.
I'm not going to be able to make it to 4 o'clock. I can tell you right now. Not at this rate.
Did anybody ask us if we wanted to go till 4 o'clock?
Well, what we're trying to do is make up for an incredible amount of lost time, and
I
we're
know.
way behind, so we're just going to do our best, but I'm very frustrated right now.
I
So
can tell, and I am too.
let's go.
Okay, this proposal is for the main house at 8 Wrights Landing. You've already approved on consent an application for a pool and a shed that are at the rear of the lot. Most of the work that we're proposing here is on the rear of the lot, with the exception of changing 2 windows on the front elevation and a dormer. What probably kept this off consent is that we're requesting to change the trim from natural to weather to white. It was previously approved 3 times by the HDC as white trim. And then for whatever reason, at the very end, they decided to change it to natural to weather, years later.
Okay, so
Most of
that's
the
why we
houses-
see all these photographs of the white trimmed houses around, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
This is all.
So let's
yeah.
cut to the chase. Let's look at the elevations. Let's Kathy, put in a request to get Holly more bandwidth. Okay,
So this is the rear elevation right here.
Yep. We can't see, I can't read any of those notations.
We're attaching the 2 second floor decks, we're joining them, and then we're replacing the 2-panel French door with a 4-panel French door on the first floor.
Okay, and this is all in the back, Ethan?
Correct.
Okay. All right, that's it, right?
Well, there's one more
Changing the
elevation.
trim color, joining the decks, 2 to 4 doors, correct?
Correct.
Okay, folks, board members.
I'm okay with this application, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Val. Abby?
Me too.
Oh, and Diane?
Yeah, aye.
You're in, okay, John, are you okay with this?
The only thing I would say is the length of the second floor deck. I like to see the other end of it.
The other end of it.
Yeah. In other words, if you're looking at it, how much extension does it come off the wall?
Oh, you mean the side?
From the
Well,
gable end.
John, that's existing.
Okay, all right. I just
Okay.
caught it.
All
Thank
right.
you.
So listen, can we have a motion?
Thought we
Motion
had
to
one from
approve.
Val.
What?
Val made a motion to approve.
Oh, she did?
I think so.
Well, I said I was good with it, but I'll make the motion to approve.
All right, so Val has just made a motion to approve. On that motion, Abby,
Aye.
Diane,
Aye.
John,
Aye.
thank you, Val.
Aye.
I'm in favor. Okay, so that, Ethan, is it for you for now.
Thank you very much, guys. Hang in
Diane,
there.
15 Meter Street, A. Is Shauna on?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, okay.
I'm here.
Okay, good. All right, so let's get some drawings up. Shauna, it looks like you're adding a chimney.
Yeah, it is 2 dormers and an outdoor fireplace, an outdoor shower and a chimney. So if we look at it, the dormers are on the west and east side. The west side is facing Cottage D. This is 4 little cottages that are all 15 Meter Street.
Yeah.
So it's Cottage A is hidden behind Cottage B. The west side dormer is towards Cottage D, and the east side, that is visible. That is facing towards the water. The chimney also on the west side is also hidden towards Cottage D, and the outdoor shower is hidden behind a bunch of fencing. So the only thing that's really visible is that east dormer.
Okay.
That is facing towards the water.
Okay. Thank you.
I'll go.
Thank you.
I think that the east I think that the shed dormer looks lopsided. I'd be fine with you added another window and centered it in the middle of the roof. I think right now it looks odd, and I'd be fine with it.
Okay, so obviously
And fine with the
Shauna is trying to align those windows with the ones down below, but you want to have it moved over to the left?
Yeah, centered on the roof line. I think it looks a little lopsided.
Okay.
May I?
And I'm fine with the chimney.
Yeah, you're cathedraling that space, right, Shauna?
Yeah, there's a loft space above that bedroom too. So the kitchen part, which is to the left, where is the door and the left window on that east elevation, that's the kitchen area. To the right is a bedroom. And so above that is a loft space. So it was basically to make that loft space sort of usable as maybe, you know, someone could put a desk up there or something like that.
So
Well,
now,
if that's the case, and we're dealing with what's on the inside instead of the outside, which we shouldn't be,
Correct.
I'd say that we're kind of ruining the profile, and it should only be allowed in the back, because I don't, and now it's becoming a different structure, more modern, and right now it's a, you know, it's a broke back, and it's you know, sort of a pure shape. So those are my thoughts.
okay, thank you, Abby. Diane?
No, I agree with Abby to move the dormer over somewhat. If you add another window, it would take it beyond the front door. It's a funny little, Francis Street has changed so much, it's hard to think, but I don't have, how tall is this building? So,
Total height is 24'5". And
Okay.
it is a, you know, quite a bit above ground level to start with.
it's up above because of the flooding?
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Okay. All right, then if we move the dormer on the east, then what happens to the dormer on the west? Which you would see, or does another cottage block off your view?
Cottage, it faces Cottage D, so you would be able to see it from Cottage D, but it blocks, Cottage D is the same height. So all those are all right around the same, within a few inches of each other. So you can see it from Cottage D, but that's pretty much the only place you can see it from. And maybe
You can't see it. We moved the dormer over a little bit to the left. So it sort of matched the dormer on the east. Then would it not look better balanced than leaving the dormer on the west over to the right?
So leaving the dormer on the west over to the left-hand side, which is above the loft. So if we would the board be okay if on the east side, maybe we,
No,
sorry.
Shauna,
Okay.
let's hear from all the board members
Okay,
before we get
sorry.
into this.
I also don't see anything.
I
There's
don't
no
either.
plan, there's nothing.
No. And you had, Val, I heard you ask for the site plan, which would be a good idea.
I'm trying to look on my other computer on the GIS, and I don't know which building this is. I
Right.
did go down and view these. They are highly visible, so I kind of wanted to know exactly which one
Yeah.
this was.
No, I think that's a fair thing to do. So we don't have any visuals, guys.
Mr. Chair,
Yeah.
I'm unable to let Holly in. She had to reboot and get back in. Or do you see her?
Who?
Holly. Holly.
No.
When you
No.
say sphere, what do we mean by that?
Ray, when we admit folks into the meeting, I don't see her on the participants.
No, I don't. Gosh, can anybody else screen share this one?
I can do that.
That would be great.
Okay. Stand by.
This format is killing us.
Yeah, no, it's just absolutely horrible.
Mr. Chairman,
Yeah.
could we bring up the south elevation, please?
We're trying to get the plan on, John.
Oh, I got you. Okay, thank you.
Okay, here we are. And Val actually is giving her comments now that they're up. Sort of, kind of. No.
I got the app page and that was it.
Yeah, off to the side. Okay. All right. Here comes the site plan. Keep going. Well, wait a sec.
It's not the whole.
No, we need to see everything. Yeah, we need to see everything. Sana, if you're going to make an argument for something else being in the way, it would be kind of important for us to see that thing.
Well, this isn't even the same plan that we were just looking at.
It's not.
This is different.
This is 11 Fayette Street.
Well, my overarching comments would be, all of these buildings are, first of all, raised up, as we all know.
Okay, hang on. This is Harbor View Way that's on now.
Yeah.
Okay, here, there was meter, go back. Okay. Okay. So, Sana, if you can hear me, you're suggesting Cottage A is the one that's under review. And you're saying that the dormers on the west side will be blocked by Cottage D. Right? Sana.
Maybe she's mute.
This meeting is really not working.
That's not working at all.
Are these the cottages that they built up, we did with Paul, or?
Yes.
They're around the corner from Diane's house.
Right.
Mr. Chairman,
Yeah.
I don't see Sana on the participants list any longer. I would just ask that perhaps we put this on hold.
Yeah, I mean, we're just totally wasting time here. So Sana's exited the room. So can we have a motion to hold items 6, 7, and 8?
So move.
Thank you. On that motion, Abby,
Aye.
Val,
Aye.
John,
Aye.
Diane,
Aye.
and I'm in favor. Now watch this. As soon as I take up Val's stuff, Sana's going to arrive again.
I actually would like to have you review the first one, which is the move off demo of the existing house, but the others we'd like to hold because I think we're pondering making some revisions. So
Okay.
before you even review it.
Yeah, fair enough. So you're going to need to have an associate member step in. Stephen, I know you're there. I just heard you. So why don't you sit on these?
Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
Or this, I should say, because the other items are being held. Okay, so this is a move off demo.
Yeah,
Want to show us what we got?
I'd love to. If I could. This is the new no. Okay. Circa 1974 structure
Okay.
behind, in the vicinity behind Millie's.
Can we see anything else? Okay. Behind Millie's.
Millie's restaurant.
Yeah.
I'm trying to make it bigger on mine too. There you go.
Oh, wow. Real 70s stuff. Okay.
That's just the existing structure, so. And there were some photos.
A stick of dynamite would do it.
I know where your sentiments are.
How do you really feel?
Well, so maybe we should cut to the chase on this one, Abby can't.
Okay, motion to approve.
The demo move off?
Yes.
Okay, great. Okay, on that motion, Stephen,
Aye.
thank you. John,
Chairman, I have a comment on this.
go ahead.
Number one, I've always thought it best that it is better to move it than to destroy it, because once it's destroyed, it's gone.
True.
I still feel that way in a lot of these moving houses around. You know, it's nice that people can get a home, but it's also what is it doing to Nantucket? That's my comment. Take
Okay,
it.
but so we
I
do
agree
the
with you
most,
on that, but I think this particular one, John, I think it doesn't have any architectural merit. I wouldn't want to see it any other place on the island.
well, but we are approving, John, by the way, a move off demo. So if somebody can move it to a place that we would approve, then they could move it, but they would need to apply to us. So, but are you in favor of the motion, John?
No, I just find there's too much demo.
Okay, so you're against the motion.
They can move it and save it, yes, but the reason to demo something, because they want to get rid of an old one, get up a new one, that's
John?
shouldn't be a problem.
John, so you're opposed to the motion, correct? John?
Yes.
Are you opposed to the motion?
Am I in favor of the motion? Yes.
No, well, are you in favor or opposed? That's all I need to know. John?
Yeah.
John?
My computer's a little messed up. I'm trying to listen, yeah. What was the question?
The motion is to approve the move off demo. Are you in favor of or opposed to the motion? Yes or no?
Yes.
Thank you. Diane?
I am with the motion.
Okay. Stephen, I already got you on that, or did I get you on the motion?
Yes.
Okay, and so Abby?
Aye.
All right, and I'm in favor. Motion carries. Thank you. All right, so Val, we're going to hold your 10 and
Yes.
11, correct?
Yes, please.
All right.
Motion to hold 10 and 11.
All right, thanks. On that motion, same board, okay? Not Val, Abby,
Aye.
Stephen,
Aye.
Diane,
Aye.
John.
Aye.
Thank you, and I'm in favor. Okay, so that brings us to 38 Cannonberry, also Val. And this time we're going to switch to Carrie, if you're still on board, Carrie.
I am.
Okay, great, thanks.
This is the subdivision on the way out to Low Beach Road, which we've seen a lot lately.
Oh, yeah, yep.
I have a few examples on the front page of houses in the area.
Okay.
And I think this house will fit in nicely. It's
And you're
27,
just sort of towards the back on the left, right?
27 feet tall. Dove gray trim, black sash, Harvard slate, gray Ico roof shingles.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ray, I think you got to get Steve Welch on this. I think I got to recuse.
Oh, okay, so that's fine. Stephen, are you okay?
Ready to go.
All right, great, thank you. All right. Any comments from the board?
What color are the roof tiles? Harbor what?
Harvard slate gray. It's one of our approved colors.
Okay, thanks.
Something to eat.
Anyone want to?
We
Yeah,
gotta, we gotta see the elevations.
Okay, let's scroll back down to the elevations. Stephen, were you about to say something?
No, I'll hold. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay.
The only thing I was gonna say was something about the ganged windows over the front door, but I don't really mind them. I just think they look a tiny bit odd, but that's it that's all I have to say.
Oh, okay. And they're not actually ganged. There is shingle space between them.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, maybe they should be ganged. I don't know.
Okay. Stephen?
Yeah, I am fine with the application as submitted.
Okay, thank you. John?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, could you go to the aerial shot, please?
The aerial? Sure. Yeah.
Right there, where it says 19 Cannonberry.
Yeah, so that's not actually this house, John. That's a neighbor's house.
No, I have a comment about it though.
Oh, okay.
Seeing it from the aerial shot, that it's screened around. You know, it's screened around the pool, so you can't see it, which
Yeah.
makes sense. But the point is that I'm trying to see, let me see there where it is there, you know. Most pools being approved,
There's no
low brush there, you know. And this here enclosure right off all four sides is not visible. Maybe you should do more of that kind of.
Yeah, that noted for the future, John. Yes. Do you have anything to say about the house design?
The house design, I can't find anything wrong with it right now. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. How about you, Diane?
I think he thinks the parking space is a pool.
Yeah, I bet that's.
No,
it.
I think he was just making an observation that this is a good way to handle screening a pool when you get the vegetation up close. And he's correct.
Okay.
Anyway, I would approve as submitted.
Oh, do you want to make that motion, Diane? Because I think that motion would carry.
Yep, I make the motion that it to be approved as
Mr.
submitted.
Chair,
Yeah.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
this is Holly. I'm sorry I got cut off and all that. This is 38 Cannonberry, correct?
Yep.
I have Sconset advisory comments that I'd like to let you all
Okay,
know.
you can read them, but we're in the middle of a motion to approve. So why
Sorry.
don't you read
It
them?
was just on the west with that 2-story projection toward the street. It should be behind the front door.
The west 2-story. Yeah, behind the front door. There's wings that come.
It's
Okay. Is that all they had to say?
Yes, sir. That's the gable end. Yes, sir. Those are the comments.
Okay, thank you. I mean, I think that if we could argue this, we would go back and look at those other things that were already approved in the neighborhood. I'm sure there's going to be a gable forward in that group. Let's see. So, shucks, who made the motion?
I did.
Okay,
Diane.
Diane. What?
Diane,
Yeah. Okay, so on Diane's motion, Abby,
aye.
Stephen,
Aye.
John,
Aye.
thank you. And Abby?
Aye again.
Oh, and Diane?
Would you like a nice drink?
Aye.
Aye.
So I'm
Aye.
like, shot. Okay, so, and then I'm in favor. So I think that was everybody. Motion carries. Okay,
Thank you.
thanks. Now we're gonna go to 14 North Road.
Hello, Mr. Chairman. I think Andrew's trying to get in as well. Is there any way that we could be held for representation and be on Monday's agenda instead of being heard now? I know that you guys have a lot to get through still today.
Sure.
Make a motion to hold 13, 14, 15, and 16, 17, and 18.
Yeah, you want all of them, right?
I'd love to make that motion.
And we can just kind of jump to somewhere early on the next meeting.
Tuesday.
It's actually Monday.
Monday.
Monday
That's
is
fine.
the first week in November.
Okay, so did somebody give me a motion to hold items 13 through 18 till Monday's?
I gave you the motion.
Okay, thank you, Diane. On that motion, Abby,
Aye.
Val,
Aye.
John.
Mr. Chairman, I would like to see the application. How many?
No, we're holding the application until Monday, John. That's what the motion is.
Okay, I'll hold. Thank you.
All right, Diane?
Aye.
And I'm in favor, so that motion carries. Okay, now we are along to 5 Blackfish. Do we have somebody from Chip's office here?
We do. Hi, Chip Webster here.
Good. Hi.
Hello, everyone. Let me know if you'd like me to open with a presentation or
start.
Okay, this is actually a great drawing to start with. So this is a site plan. We have 4 applications for the property. One is the main house, one is a guest house, one is a pool cabana, and one is a garage. On this drawing, on the right-hand side is Blackfish. So the arrangement, you can see it's a long, skinny lot. It has short frontage on Blackfish, and then it's very deep. So the arrangement of the structures pretty much has to be a linear fashion because of the size and shape of the lot. We are proposing to put the garage in the front with a side-facing door, which is pretty common throughout Sconset. In both historic applications as well as some recent approvals on new construction. That also gives us the opportunity to set the main house back a little bit more. So there's a front porch on the main house. And then to the rear is the rear courtyard that is bracketed by the main house and the guest house. And then there's a proposed pool cabana next to the pool. So that is the proposed arrangement. There were some Sconset Advisory Board comments, which I'll pre-address those. I'm sure Holly will read them, but one was relative to the garage being in the front, a question about that. I did, after the Sconset Advisory Board had their meeting, did a tour, and I have tons of photos, which I will submit of that, the garage in the front. And I want to point out so that the garage has the door facing the parking area, not the street. The second comment that was brought up during Sconset Advisory Board was if we can go back to that perspective drawing that we were just looking at in the main house, was that the door is not centered on the first floor, and that was a concern of one of the members. Again, when I drove around, I found numerous examples, again, both historic and new, of applications where there's a symmetrical second floor separated by a porch and a different arrangement on the first floor. In fact, that was more common than the other way. So I just wanted to sort of pre-address those 2 comments. If we go back to the site plan for a second, there were also 2 abutters who submitted concerns on this, and maybe I'll sort of pre-address those as well. Both members were concerned about the amount of ground coverage on it. And I'm actually glad they pointed that out, because we did a double check on that, and they were correct that the ground coverage as submitted exceeds the maximum on that. So we have already done redesign on a couple of the structures, the guest house and the garage, to conform to that. There was also comments from both neighbors about water runoff from the property, and we have alerted the site engineer to make sure that they are considering that. And then one of the 2 neighbors, if we go back to the site plan for a second, are 1 Blackfish and 38 Burnell. So they're both on the same side of the property, and you can see there. So they're right there where the cursor is. And then one of them asked if it might be possible to move the buildings further from that side. So those were the comments from the neighbors. So one thing that might speed things up today is both the garage and the guest house are redesigned enough that I think you could just hold both of those for revisions. But I would like to look at the main house and get feedback on the main house and potentially the pool cabana today.
Sounds fine. Okay, so let's take a look at the main house.
So this is a perspective. If we go to the south elevation, that is the side facing the street. As you can see, all of the structures on the property I kept as low as possible. So we used a 1.5 story massing for the main house. I can't quite read it, but I think it's between 26 and 27 feet in proposed height. Where is 26 and change. It's proposed 9-pitch roof. And you can see that head on elevation is the main mass and then a 1-story additional mass. That's probably enough for feedback from the board.
Let's see the other elevations.
Okay.
Chip, did you give us the colors on this?
Yes, shingles are natural to weather, red cedar roof, and white trim.
Okay.
Here on the top of the page, you can see the west elevation that would be facing the sideline towards, I guess it's 7 Blackfish or whatever the next lot is that direction. Mm-hmm. And then at the bottom, you can see the north elevation, which is the back of the house.
Okay. All right, thank you. Board members.
I'll go.
Mr. Chair, if you're ready.
Val, go ahead.
Chip, nicely done, I think. The only concern I have is the transom dormer on the side facing the street. Is there any other window type or arrangement you could pop in there?
It's interesting that you bring that up, but that is a element that appears elsewhere on another building that's in Blackfish, where there's a 1-story mass with the transom. So it is a condition that exists. We absolutely could look at something else. It could be a gable instead, which would tie into the other gables. It is, that's a 1-story room with it's a 1st floor master, so there's a cathedral ceiling there, and the idea was to break up the ceiling line and get some light in. But so I guess 2 points. One is it is something that exists in the area, and 2, if it's something that the board would like us to see revisit, I'd be happy to.
Well, let's see what the rest of the members have to say. So
if we had photos, we'd know.
Val, that was your only concern, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Abby?
Yeah, I'm fine with this. Originally, I thought maybe the over the front on the 2nd floor that the ganged windows were too much for those gabled dormers, but I could be afraid. As to the transom, I think that could even be either larger. It looks a little stuck on. It could actually be larger. I don't mind it. But I think it's a little dinky looking. Other than that, I think it will fit right into Blackfish Lane. I like the architecture. Thank you.
Thank you, Abby. Diane? Let's get Diane off mute here.
I'm sorry.
There you go.
Now do you hear me? Yes.
Yep.
I think on the I make a comment as of the windows that Abbeyfield are mold. I think they're separated, at least from the drawing, with a course of shingles coming down. So I would be the first one to leap up and down about the mold windows, but I think that they are okay. I think the mold windows on the east elevation are I don't know. They're not typical of any window there, and you have plenty of outside. I would rather see them separated along the bottom and to come underneath the windows up above. I think, what do you think if you wanted to keep the little one over the bedroom, the 3 in that little dormer, what happens if you stretched it all the way out over those windows? Would that be something you could do? Would it look better than if you put a gable dormer in there, it's going to project above the roof and you're trying to keep it low. So that's just a suggestion.
I'm sorry, Diane, I might have missed that. I followed your comment on the mold windows and then.
Okay, on the south, Chip, on the south elevation.
South elevation, okay.
The D window, you said that was a bedroom with a cathedral ceiling, right? What happens if instead of just having the 1, 2, 3, 4 windows, you put it until it's stretched over the A window to the left, not covered it, but went over it just the way it does to the A window on the left. So it was longer rather than just a pook on that roof.
Okay, I follow that. I think that we could do that. And that might address Abby's concern that feeling it was a little small, maybe.
Right. And it wouldn't project up over the roof as a doghouse would do. So that's my suggestion.
Okay. Thank you, Diane. John?
Yes, thank you. Is the south elevation that you have there? Yes.
Yeah.
I think the door should be changed and not have so much glass in it, the front door. That's what I'm thinking about. It's out of character with those side lights for that style building with those 2 over 2 windows.
Mm-hmm.
Big difference between them. Thank you.
Okay. I actually agree with John on the front door. Its placement is fine. You know, it's centered like the windows are within the bays created by the columns. So that's works for me. But usually we're either approving glass in the door or with side lights, but not both. So, you know, either you have a nice big door with glass in it or you have side lights, but one or the other. That's the extent of my comments. What would we like to do with this, folks?
Hold for revisions?
Was that Abby?
Yes.
Okay, so Abby, you've made a motion to hold for revisions. So on that motion, Val?
Aye.
Thank you. Diane?
Aye.
Thank you. John?
Aye.
Thank you. Abby?
Aye.
And I'm in favor, motion carries. So now remind me, Chip, do you want to hold the cabana and the garage? Was that it?
No, the guest house and the garage.
Guest house and garage. So items 20 and 21, can somebody make a motion to hold those for updated information?
Motion to hold.
And then, if I may, it might make sense at that point to just have the pool cabana track with the rest of them.
Okay, why not? So why don't we just do all 3 then? So Val, why don't you just do a motion that says have items 20, 21, and 22 track the main house?
That's my motion, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you. So on that motion, Diane,
Aye.
Abby,
Aye.
John,
Aye.
Val,
Aye.
and I'm in favor. Okay, so that is it for you, correct, Chip, for at least now?
It is. Thank you very much.
Okay,
Everyone have a beautiful day.
Thanks. And now we're on to 82 Millbrook Road.
Tori is here. She's in the
Mhm.
building, actually, here at Plus.
Hi, guys, I'm here.
There you are.
We might be able to actually get to some of this old business stuff. That would be crazy. Can you tell us anything about this, Tori? This
Sure
over-
thing. It might be a good place to start at the, I think it's the last page of the elevations where you can see the comparison of the garage and the main house to the proposed second dwelling as a starting point.
Oh, okay.
Right there. So you can see we're really in line with what's already there, in my opinion, and hopefully in yours. And then if we'd like to go back to the elevations, we're not really visible from the street at all.
So explain this. So what are we looking at here? An existing main house on the left?
On the far left, yep. Existing garage in the middle.
Okay, and
And then the
your new
proposed on the far right.
Yeah. Okay.
So now if we'd like to go back to the site plan. You can see that we're wrapped way inside to the interior of the lot and barely visible from the main road.
Well, okay, can you explain something to me?
Yep.
The diagram that you just showed us is essentially like looking from, I believe, the north, looking south, which is somebody else's property. That's not a publicly traveled way. So people aren't going to be looking at it that way, correct?
No, not at all. That was just to give you a reference point for both buildings that already exist on the property.
Okay. But our visibility in this case is from the east.
If at all, yes.
So the if at all part, do you have photographs of the site and the house?
I do
No.
not believe those are there. You
Well,
won't see the house from the east. It's actually, as you come around the curve of Millbrook Road, it's going to be from the south, if anything, the rear of it.
it's funny. I saw a building that had like a really, really low roof pitch, but it's not this one.
Would you say, Ray?
Something flashed up on the screen and had a really super low roof pitch, like maybe a 7 or even less. And I was going to comment on that, but that's not this building. So,
Okay, well, I'll go.
yeah, well, okay, but we haven't seen all the elevations yet.
Well, I guess my point, I think I'm thinking this is.
There, okay, there's the really super flat roof on the south.
Are you talking about porch and back?
Yeah, that super flat roof. It looks like maybe a 7 and 12. I can't read.
Over the front porch or over the rear porch?
Tori, the south elevation. It has like a
It's a
5.
5 and 12.
Which
Yeah.
is, yeah, too low.
That's like a ranch house. And you said that the south elevation is where you're going to see it from Millbrook. Right? Hello?
Did she get bumped off?
Of course, I'm sure.
Okay, I lost you for a minute. I couldn't hear what you were saying. I apologize.
Okay, so two things. One, this is a 5 and 12 roof pitch on a main gable, which is like way shy of the norm, which John would tell you. And I believe a moment ago, you also said that the south elevation is going to be visible from Millbrook Road as it turns around.
I don't know if it will be visible, but if anything, that's the only place that you'll see some of the rear elevation, yes.
Okay, so you're seeing the worst part of it is what you're telling us. Okay, so board members, you want to comment on that?
I will, Mr. Chair.
Yeah.
I did go out and view it, and there is, visibility depending on what time of the year there is, of the structures that are there, primarily the house, not the garage. But a more overarching concern for me is that this house is a secondary dwelling, is almost 28 feet tall. And I know that we've sort of loosened up on our second dwelling being 22 feet and all of that, but this I think is a bit of a reach, and that also will be the part that you see, the second floor level.
Right.
Mr. Chairman.
Let's make sure that Val is finished with her comments, John, and then I'll take you.
That's it for now, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Val. John.
Yes, looking at south elevation.
Okay, whoever has, sorry, John, I'm going to interrupt you just for a second. Somebody has like a truck backing up. I'd like them to mute. Go ahead, John.
On the south elevation that I'm looking at.
Yep.
Could that be made a little larger?
Holly, can you, oh, there we go. Okay. There we go. Okay. There you are, John.
All right, now what is it? It's got a 5-inch pitch on it. It's hard to read.
5 and 12, John.
It is a 5?
Yep.
All right, that should be changed to a 7, no matter what problem they have to do.
At a minimum, yeah.
They're creating their own problem. Now, am I looking at it? It looks like the second floor deck is superimposed. Railings. And when I'm looking at it, it's hard to see this drawing. Is that a railing across the whole length of that?
Yes.
Yes.
It needs a change. I'll make a motion to hold for revision.
Okay, John, I'm going to hold that motion just so that if there's anything else that Tori needs to hear from other board members, she's got the full package. Okay, John? But I totally agree on the roof pitch and the deck. Let's see. So we heard from Val. Abby?
Yeah, I mean, having listened to everybody else, I think that roof line isn't going to work on the south. Maybe some shed dormers come down and cover the French doors. Maybe there's a little one in the middle. And it sounds like you've got to bring the height down for a second dwelling. This is almost 28 feet. Well, we're stuck on this elevation. I'd kind of like to see one of the sides. So that would be east or west, if possible, please.
Yeah. Oh, that's deep.
Yeah.
The porch is very deep.
Right. So that's got to be changed. I was looking at that hip roof, the way it looked from the south elevation. It looked a little steep, but I don't know my roof lines on hips like that, but it seemed a little steep from the south. And then east. Yeah, someone's gonna say something about those ganged windows, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Um, so, yeah, I guess those are my comments, and I think holding for revisions is probably a good idea.
Okay, and John has made that motion, so I'm just sort of holding that motion.
I'd like to,
Yes, yes,
I get-
Diane.
okay, well, Abby is right. The on the east elevation, every window on the second floor is ganged, and on the first floor, and the triple French doors, and the deck above. The house should only be, and we've got to start sticking, sounded like Johnny, what he said is true. We should be sticking to 24 feet for a house that is a secondary house that is not a garage. And this is not 24 feet. It's completely ignoring our sort of rules and regulations. I'd like to see the south and the west, if I might. Okay, the south with the whiting, the windows again on the second floor and on the first floor are ganged. I see no additive massing with the exception of the little thing on the side and the humongous deck. There's no reason in this place. It's got plenty of room to bring some of that down to below 24 inches and make some additive massing. This is just a box with accoutrements stuck on it. That's it. Thank you for now.
Okay, so there is a motion on the table to hold this for revisions. And on that motion, Diane,
aye.
Val,
Aye.
Abby,
Aye.
John,
Aye.
and I'm in favor. Motion carried.
Ray,
Yes.
could you just explain the one comment about the railing in back? Is it the fact of the width of it, or is it the style of it?
It's the depth.
The depth. But did John say something about the railing?
Well, just the fact that on that drawing that we were looking at, the railings were very, very unclear.
So the line weight needs to be
The line weight is
stronger?
kind of a mess, yes. Yeah.
Okay, got it. So
Okay, thanks.
it's the roof pitch and the ganged windows and
It's
the height.
everything that we said. Okay, we're moving on to another application. So.
Just trying to confirm.
Yeah,
Thanks.
thanks. We're on to old business. 21 Hummock Pond Road. It's myself, Diane, Abby, Val, and Carrie. Okay?
Hello.
Hi.
I'm Pete Sendelbach.
Yep.
Should I present it? Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. I'm building this for myself. I've lived here for 12 years. This lot used to be the barnyard for Hilltop Stable. The house is put in.
Can I interrupt you just for a second?
Sure.
So we have reviewed this before.
Yeah, for a minute.
Now, I believe that we requested some revisions.
You requested viewing polls.
Okay, thank you. Do you have photos of those poles?
Yeah, they are. They're in the file there.
Okay, so why don't we take a look at those?
Okay.
Oh, very nice. So you took these are showing views from various spots.
Correct.
Perfect. So I think it's safe to say that it's not visible from A, correct?
Well, that's the view coming up Hussey Farm Road.
Mm-hmm. B.
You can just see them from this view, either side of the chimney on the garage there.
Either side. Wow.
It's pretty far back. Yeah,
Okay.
that's correct. Yeah.
Okay. Those are your two ridge poles, correct?
Correct. Yep.
Okay, very good. Thank you. See? Okay, there's our that's the same chimney, correct?
Correct. That's a chimney on Milk Street Extension there.
Right. So the poles are somewhere over to the chimney that's just barely peeking above the privet.
Yeah, they're kind of behind the chimney there.
Okay. All right, so that was C. How about D? D. Thank you. That's nothing there, right?
Yeah, I can't see them there.
Okay. E.
And they're in this view, they're behind the trees. You know, there's that kind of gap there, but
yeah,
they're sort of to the left of that pine tree behind that brush. But you can't see them.
Tall, dark green tree, right?
Yeah.
To the left of that.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that was it, right? You just had through E?
Yes, correct.
Okay. So let me open it up to
Mr. Chair.
Sorry?
I'll go.
Oh, thanks, Abby. Go ahead.
So I viewed this. I got to the top of Hussey Farm Road. I think that's the name of it. I looked down the driveway. I looked around. I think because this is so far back and it's, you know, it's due to lack of visibility. I think this application is fine by me.
Okay, thanks. And thanks for doing your homework. Diane. How about you, Val?
I also went and viewed, and while you may not see much of it from Hummock Pond Road or Hussey, whatever the road is, you will see it from the Milk Street side. And you can see the back of the garage that's already there. And this is going
behind
in front of that toward this street and is taller. So I think what we need to consider is what's going to be seen above the brush that's there, and that is the roof and the solar panels. And what is the roof, metal?
No, the roof is black asphalt.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So Val, where are you saying you can see it? What street?
If he gave us a E and D, or is that? I can't zoom in.
Hold on,
Sorry.
leaving.
Where is she?
You can see it from Milk Street. There's some driveways that are wide open behind this, and if you're walking on the bike path, you can see right in there. And so my concern is that you're going to see it, and it is a stretch from what is typically constructed. So I would say I would want to see it shingled. And I guess the solar panels are on the side that are facing away from Milk, so those would be the least visible in that spot. So those are okay.
So you just, sorry, just to reiterate, Val, you just want to see it shingled instead of vertical board.
Yeah, and it's all casements. I think that in its entirety, it's an anomaly.
Yeah,
and
it is. So this would be a, due to limited or lack of visibility clause.
I just would be concerned about that, all casement windows and, the precedent. I think you can still get a net zero house and use typical materials.
Okay.
What about the solar panels?
I
Val?
think where he has the house and the garage and the other house, this is probably the best place for them, although it is the front of the house, which we don't typically like. That I do believe is limited visibility.
Mr. Chair, point
Yeah.
of clarification. I believe when this was last reviewed, you all discussed that it would be a separate application for the solar, that this is just for the house.
Yes, that was true.
Okay.
That's true.
Thank you for.
However, I will just say for the record that, Val's point about two things. One, you have a black roof, which we're always looking for. Two, they're behind the garage. So I don't think there's, at least in my mind, not going to be any difficulty. Oh, they also occupy the whole roof plane, which is a third thing that we are often looking for. Thank you for that, Holly. Let's see. So where were we?
I was asking a question,
Yeah.
which Val says they're not easily seen or not seen at all. I just think we have to watch out about putting stuff on the front of houses, because before you can blink an eye, we'll have 10 applications on the front of the house because we did it somewhere else. But other than that, I don't have a problem with the shape and form. I think it would be tucked in there and hard to see, but I do think we should, along with its address, put that it is visible from Milk Street, because somebody else going by wanting to see it with the solar panels and stuff would be looking at Hummock Pond Road and not Milk Street.
Is Milk Street the south elevation?
No, it's a north elevation.
North elevation.
So there's no solar panels on the north. Okay, Diane, thank you. So this, again, so we did decide that the solar panels were going to be a separate application on this. And I'm again going to state for the record, at least my view is that they would conform to basically all the rules that we have. So I actually don't have any objections to this at all. I think it's set way back in the middle of nowhere. It's not that tall. I wouldn't be uncomfortable if it went to shingle, if that was required to get this to be approved. But this is natural board and batten, right?
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Also, Mr. Chair, I think respectfully, I think that Val is probably mistaken about it being visible from Milk Street Extension. There are a lot of houses in the middle, and I've lived there for 12 years. I'm pretty positive there's no way to see this from that direction.
Yeah, I would tend to agree. And it's really
like
low.
1,000 feet away. I mean, or more. Can we see the locust map to see how far away this building is from Milk Extension?
There you go.
Yeah, I mean,
So Milk Street is the road. Oh, there you go. There it is.
Right. Thank you. So I'm fine with it. I'll make a motion to approve and see what happens.
Okay. And could you just say that we're approving this with the understanding that the solar panels will be a separate application?
Absolutely. And right. And
okay.
It's in unconformity is due to lack of visibility, which means we'd have that caveat of, at the time of inspection,
Yeah. Okay.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes, John.
All right, I'd like to make a comment.
Yes, go ahead.
Emotions. This structure, as I see it here drawn, I find the window considerations part is completely inimical, and it has nothing to do with the present existing surroundings, which is say 400 to 500 feet from this structure where we propose it. And it's I don't have any problem with the panels on the roofs because they're getting proliferated all over the island.
John's
Long
not on this, is he?
as it's outside of HDC area. But I find this to approve this thing out there, you're going to start a precedent anywhere on this island. It's going to look like that. And that is not Nantucket. That is not Sconset. You know, it's just not Nantucket. And I'm not in favor of any, I am in favor of some changes on this to make the size of it. What? What you say?
I said, you're not on this application.
Oh my gosh, I thank you for pointing that out. Yes, John, you are not on this application.
Thank you.
Yeah, sorry. Sorry about that.
No, that's all right. You're wrong.
Okay, now listen, so guys, Abby has made a motion to approve as submitted with the understanding that the solar panels will be a separate application and that this is being approved due to lack of visibility. Okay, so on that motion, Carrie.
I didn't comment on any of it yet.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, I'm just not myself today.
That's fine. I just think the HDC never approves full glass windows like that, and I would say I would approve it if if the windows were divided in some fashion. 2/2, 6/6. They could stay casements, but I think they, as a precedent, should be divided.
Okay. Wow. Okay. So there is a motion on the table. So you're against the motion.
Yep.
Okay. Val.
I'm a no.
Yeah, I think this motion is going to die. Diane?
No.
Okay. So yeah, Abby, the motion died. Can somebody give me a different
I
motion?
don't take it personally.
Can somebody give me a different motion, please?
Oh, make a motion to hold for revisions.
Okay, thanks. Let's see how that goes. Carrie,
Aye.
Val,
Aye.
Abby,
Aye.
Diane,
Aye.
I'm in favor. Okay, so looking for some revisions. Next up, solar panels, 83 Eel Point Board, myself, Diane, Abby, Val. Let's go. I'm running out of
Okay.
steam.
All right. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, good. All right. So when this was originally heard, I contended that the visibility would be low or not at all from Eel Point Road due to the new black asphalt roof and the fact that the house is 1 story and 300 feet from the road. There's already a natural vegetative buffer from his driveway to the west. And we offered to add the same type of buffer from the driveway east, as well as plant a few evergreens to block any visibility from the road. It was held for a viewing and we came back, but then no one had viewed it. And at that second meeting, you requested a string marking the height of the proposed natural vegetation that would be placing there to block it. And the string was put up. So I'm not sure if anyone viewed it, but before that, I just wanted to say or speak to the point that at one point you raised that the area was completely flat and any kind of berm would be not natural. But just to the east of this property is a dune or a big undulation that's over 25 feet high, higher than the height of the house. So creating a berm or high vegetation really is in keeping with the natural landscape. So again, it was held for a second time for a viewing.
Okay. Thank you, Karen. Okay,
I'll-
board members. What?
I went yesterday,
Okay.
and I don't find, no offense, Karen, that those statements are true. This house is wide open. The vegetation you're speaking of that's blocking anything eludes me. And if there's anything on the edge of the road, this house is way back. The screening would have to be closer to the house. So I still think you can see everything. I know you can. I was just there. So it's still a no for me.
Okay. Thank you, Val. Abby.
I concur. I went out there maybe 2 days ago, and nothing you can put berms, anything to the left or the right of this driveway will, I mean, it goes, it undulates and it ends up high. The building is it's wide open there. And I can't approve the solar on the front of this building.
Okay, so it doesn't sound good. Karen, what would you like to do?
Well, is there a possibility that you would approve a ground mount?
What?
Is there he'd like to get solar somehow. Is there any way that you could recommend that you would approve this? It would have to be on the front of the house because that's the south, or we could do a ground mount, or we could screen it closer.
You could come back with another application.
Yeah.
But can you give me some guidance where you would want to see it?
I would say where you decide to put it should have some screening that blocks the visibility from the road. And did you consider doing something like some kind of a pergola? We've seen those done before and they're inset.
Mm-hmm. So you're talking not on the roof is what you're saying?
Well,
I think a ground array with screening around it.
Okay.
I mean, that's my view, my vote. Okay, so
berm something.
What?
They could berm in front of it or something.
Well, somebody on the board told her not to berm because that was artificial, but
oh, okay.
I'm not sure that I agree. But even if you didn't berm, you could always vegetate with evergreen material. So let's hold this for revisions, okay?
Motion to hold for revisions.
Thank you, Val. On that motion, Abby?
Aye.
Diane?
Aye.
Val?
Aye.
I'm in favor. Okay, that's that. John Lampy, 10 Delaney, Lot C.
Am I on? Can you see me?
You're on, yep. Okay, so if you've forgotten, John, the board is myself, Diane, Abby, and Val, and that is for all three of these applications, okay? All right, let's go.
So I'd like to begin by discussing or addressing the neighborhood context for this application.
Good.
I'll express, I had sent in some photos way back in September, but for whatever reason, we didn't see them. But yeah, so there's number one is a Google map satellite shot of Delaney with number 4, 6, and 8. And you can see that they're pretty tight right in there. These are particularly, well, you can see that 4 is brand new. And as we scroll down further pictures, but let's look at the first 3 Google satellite shots. So that is 14 and 16 Delaney, which is 2 houses away from 10. And in particular, you'll see later on a shot of 14 because it's now they have built a home on that number 14, which was just completed about 1.5 years ago. But that in particular is really, I think they've used up their entire ground coverage less 1 square foot. And we'll see that a little bit further down the line here with the photos. And then as well as 1 and 3, they're all pretty new homes. And, you know, the neighborhood is kind of in transition. And the new homes are all, you know, they try to utilize as much of the ground coverage as they can. I mean, they don't use the whole thing, but certainly number 14 did. Gingy Lane, you can see there that those homes, which is like 6 houses away from the site going south, and all those are pretty well tight as well. So to give you some photos of the homes on Delaney, if you move down to the next shot there, Holly, number 4, that's pretty new right there. And I didn't get the as-built of this one, but it's very close to the side setbacks. Moving on to number 5. Next photograph, which is 6 Delaney. That one's pretty doggone tight as well, but this is also just to give you perspective of the homes in the neighborhood. Next one. Number 8. Number 8. We do have a as-built. I should have included it in with this stuff, but they are right against the Lightship Lane. That's the one I just completed. That's the next house. And then if we go up to the next photograph, which is number 14, number 14 coming up. Holly. Number 14, that, like I said, they've utilized every square foot except for one of the allowable ground coverage. And with this R1 neighborhood, zone R1 neighborhood, they are within 3 inches of the south setback and 2 inches of the north setback. So, I mean, that's an example of an extreme example of reaching for everything you can get on.
Okay, so John, you've demonstrated that the neighborhood is tight. Should we move on to your drawings?
Yes, please.
I will say that's very helpful. If we had these on the front end, this might already be done.
I wasn't aware of the new rules, but I certainly am now. I can tell you that. So on the front of the house, south elevation, I think Diane had some concerns about the number of windows on the gable end, so I removed the middle one and repositioned them a little bit. So now instead of having 3 on that front gable, there are 2. The north elevation, she had indicated, recommended some transom windows on the upper portion of those 2 gable windows. So those are highlighted, as you can see. And then moving on to the next elevations, east and west.
Holly? Can we go to the east and west, please?
So on the east, the clouded windows, they were both ganged, and so I moved them apart. I'm kind of the second story one. It's a small room, and I've spread them out as far as I can in that area. The ones below were the kitchen, and that was easier to do. So to just refresh your memory, I did move the house more center of the lot, gaining 3 feet. I was, again, on the east lot line, I was right up against the setback, and now I have 8 feet instead of 5'3", I think it was. And then I might point out that for this lot, I have utilized only 79% of the ground coverage, allowable coverage.
Okay, thank you, John.
That's one thing.
Okay, thanks. Okay, board members.
I'll go.
Thanks, Abby, go.
I appreciate the changes. Every inch counts, taking it off the lot line. Thank you. I think the east elevation where you ungang the windows, I'm not sure if that actually, I don't know if that really helped. They look even more, I think I might have liked them better gang, but I'm only one on the board. So, and for a kitchen window, I think you usually want them, together. So
I agree.
I'm fine with the changes. Like to hear from my board members. Thanks.
Thank you. Great. Diane?
I think that what he's done is good. I like the windows in the north elevation. Thank you. If those windows in the whatever elevation we just went on that Abby was talking about, I wouldn't mind those windows, east elevation. I wouldn't mind those windows together if they were in the center, but that's a bedroom, you said, so you have to put windows over there, right?
That's correct. Yeah, I agree with you totally. I wish I could.
I don't know. Well, you could try them back to being mold and see if they have the two on the top mold. It's just that there no way is one set over the other. That's funny. Maybe a single window in that room and get rid of that window to the left and keep your single window up there. It might work out better. It's just that sort of screwy, and I think when you drive by and look at it, you might think, well, haha, they made a mistake. Not that I don't love your stuff, John, but that set of windows disturbs me. Other than that, I appreciate you're moving it. I appreciate that you are down on the, side to side and back to back. And I have no other bad things to say.
Okay, Diane, thanks. Val?
I agree with what's been said.
So what are we going to do with this? I'm fine with it the way it is.
Okay. What about motion to approve?
Is that your motion? I would be in favor of that. Okay, so let's go on the motion. So Abby has made a motion to approve as submitted. On that motion, Val?
Aye.
Diane?
Aye.
Okay, Abby?
Aye.
And I'm in favor. Motion carries. Thank you. Pool, were we just doing these other items to track? I'm sure we were, right?
Yes.
We haven't really reviewed the pool, I don't think.
No.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, John.
am I sitting on this?
No, John. And so we're on old business now. I don't know whether you have your agenda in front of you, and I'm looking down because we're going to be breaking in not much longer. John, you're not on.
Any of them.
Boy, I'm not seeing you on any of the ones that we're going to be reviewing today.
If I am, I'd like a comment.
What's that?
If I am on it, I have a comment.
Well, no, but John, what I'm saying is this is all old business. So the boards are already established, and I'm looking over old business and I don't see you on any of the applications.
Okay, no problem. Thank you.
All right. Okay. All right. So the pool. Go, John.
So the pool, I guess the biggest thing is that it has a automatic pool cover.
Right.
So
how are you screening it?
No fencing required.
How are you screening it?
And it is completely screened with Leland cypress trees.
You mean that exist now or that you're?
No, they're proposed that this lot doesn't have anything on it right now. Those are Leland's.
On the left.
Existing, yeah, on the left, as you begin to go down this private access area.
Oh.
Those will be carried pretty much around the entire lot that I'm talking about.
Okay.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Well, I could change it.
Well, the board is getting a little tired of looking at Leland cypresses. So, and they just tend to grow
In
like,
a perfect line.
yeah.
Yeah, I had one earlier rendition had what are they? Rose of Sharon hedge.
Yeah, Rose of Sharon loses its leaves.
Yeah,
It's
I know.
deciduous. So let's hear from the board, John. Okay.
Yep.
So it's the same board that just reviewed your house. So we're going to go to Abby.
Well, I'm not in favor of a row of Leyland cypress. There's not another place for this pool. And it's already sort of, what are the dimensions, John? It doesn't look that big, but.
It is 14 by 26.
Yeah, I mean, that's the way we've been seeing them come in. That's a smaller size.
It is smaller,
so I wouldn't ask you to shrink it. Deck, porch.
You could put a board fence up with privet.
Yeah, I think shoot, and which side would you put the board on? The board would have to go.
Well, there's one already on the north property line, and I would put it.
Oh, I see. Existing slat fence.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I see.
That's an opaque board fence, John?
Yeah, I might want to upgrade that to with the lattice rail on the top. Make it look a little bit better. But I could do some kind of 6-foot fence with privet on the west and north.
Are you doing the project next door as well? Because I'm thinking this shared, that you guys should get together and just make one, wood fence, and everybody gets privet on either side to sort of not double up all this screening.
Oh yeah, no, I control both lots, so.
Okay, so if you put fence, if you continue your slat fence around the corner on that left side, and then everybody gets privet to soften that, I would be all right with that.
It'd be fine by me.
Okay. What do the other board members think? How about you, Val?
I'm fine with that.
Okay, good. How about you, Diane? Can I unmute her? Where is she?
Been busy here in the house. I approve. I say aye, and approve the lack of the Leland cypress.
Okay, so I think the proposal is to have a board fence that runs down the property line and privet on the inside of the board fence, correct?
Right. Correct.
Yeah. So are you okay with that, Diane?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, so then why doesn't somebody make that motion for me?
Well, wait, that's my motion.
Somebody said wait. Who said wait?
I just had a question. Privet on the inside?
Well,
yeah, both on either
sides would get
side.
privet.
Okay. I just wanted to be clear.
And then one slatted fence in between, and wait, maybe we should make it only to the proposed dwelling, and then you don't need a board fence.
Right. I like that.
Yeah. Not the whole.
It'll only run as far south, John, as the northern edge of the L. You know
Of
what
the
we're saying?
house.
Yeah,
Yep.
down there. That's right. Correct.
Okay, but it's going to run the entire western property line?
No.
Oh,
We just identified the west. The west is going to come down to where the L is.
Where it says 100.
Exactly.
oh, okay.
Okay. And along the north, it's already all the way along the north, correct?
That's right.
All right. So that stays or it gets improved. Okay. So make a motion for me, Abby.
So the motion is to have the slatted fence that's already existing come down that western side and stop at the edge of the dwelling,
Right.
roundabout where it says 100, where that
Mhm.
decimal point is.
Correct.
And then that just becomes a hedge after that to the road.
Okay.
Privet just to the road. And so that
Is your motion?
that is my motion.
Okay. On that motion, Val,
Aye.
Diane,
Aye.
Abby,
Aye.
and I'm in favor. Motion carries. Okay, let's look at the shed.
What is John McLaughlin laughing about?
I know, I've seen him, when we started the meeting, he was laughing at
Is
something.
he, I think he's
In a good
watching
mood.
cartoons.
He may, maybe so. We'll have to ask him.
So there's, it's a small shed.
Okay, let's take a look at it. Because I don't believe this should have even been reviewed or discussed at all. So John, which side of this faces down the drive?
Well, that would be east.
East. Okay, so you're looking down the drive at a little gable with a front door on it.
Correct.
Okay, thanks.
We'll probably be putting a trellis on this thing,
Okay. That's
particularly
fine.
the south side.
Comments from the board?
I would motion to approve this shed, Mr. Chair,
All right.
as submitted.
If anybody has any issues, it can happen during the motion, but on that motion, Abby.
Sorry, I was just trying to look at the site plan. You've got privet along the front of it, John. There it is. Existing retaining wall. Yeah, well, I guess you're not going to see it. Is that correct? There's a retaining
I
wall.
think you're going to see
no,
it
no,
looking down the driveway. You're going to see the corner of it.
Yeah, okay. All right, right. The driveway's on the right. Sorry.
The
Okay.
driveway is all along the bottom, yeah.
Yeah, okay, I'm fine with it.
Okay, good. So you're in favor of Val's motion.
Yes.
Diane?
Aye.
All right, and Val?
Aye.
Okay, I'm in favor. That motion carries. Okay, see you later, John.
Thank you very much for your help.
All right.
Appreciate it.
You bet. Okay, now let's do some solar panels. And I think we should start talking about when we want to end this meeting because it's 3:30.
Is there an easy one?
There's no such thing as an easy one on old business. Why don't we, well, okay, let's just keep going. So, and see how we do. Okay, Act Smart, 132 Main Solar, let's go.
Hey, everybody. Can everybody hear me?
So this board is slightly different. This is myself, Diane, Val, and Carrie. Okay, let's go. Oh,
Okay.
look-
So can everybody hear me? Can you hear me, Mr. Chair?
Yep.
Awesome. So last time we spoke about this project, we were asked to go back for revisions and also put a mock-up on the dormers, which we did. And you can, so we put the mock-up on. I don't know if anybody went to see the mock-up, but I did take some pictures. Excuse me?
We just saw the photo.
Yep. And we also did a couple of other things. We have moved the panels on both the west and east dormers further south so that they would have even less visibility from the main road to the north.
Is this the only photograph that you have?
No.
Can we see the others?
They're in the application.
Okay, so we just had your information up and then it disappeared.
Yeah, I'm not sure. That may or may not have been one of the pictures from the application. Okay.
No, Mr. Chair, my apologies. That was a photo that was provided during HSAB's discussion.
Oh, okay. So can we see his photos?
So if you scroll down. Keep scrolling. I think it was a sunny day when we took the pictures. There we go. So the mock-up that we did was on the northern and side edges. We put up 2x4s painted black to simulate the profile of the panels and railings. The other two things that we're going to do slightly differently for this project is we're going to be using a low profile rail. And since we last met, we spoke with the owner, and she is in fact going to put black shingles on the dormers, new black shingle roof on the dormers.
Just on the dormers?
That was the discussion that we had, yes.
That would be interesting. So you'd have two different roof shingles on your roof?
Well, I think that this was driven by, it is black, but we recognize that because the roof is 15 years old, the black has faded somewhat.
Well, I guess my point is the reason that we are looking for a black roof for the panels to go on is because then everything is black, so that you don't just see black panels. So the fact that you're taking the part that already has the panels on it and turning it black, but nothing else black, is sort of defeating the purpose of the roof being black, if you know what I'm saying. Also,
I recognize what you're saying, except there's this sort of fairly big distinction between the dormers and the main part of the roof.
Distinction meaning what?
That they are, it's not like the dormers are separate and distinct from the main part of the roof, in that they're separated, and that's sort of like a clean break.
Well, but with all due respect, I mean, you know, if you went around and said, oh, well, I'm looking out my window right now at my office, which has a main roof and it has dormers. If they had two different roof shingles on them, I don't think it would look particularly good. You know, they're very distinct.
It would draw more attention.
Yeah, you know, I mean, roofs generally are of one type of shingle. But anyway, so I'm kind of getting ahead of things here. Let me just ask you one other little question, and that is, can these panels move further up on the roof so that we're not looking right at the edge of the thing, right at the eave line? Can they slide up?
There may be some wiggle room, but I don't think we have much to work with.
Okay.
Whatever we have, we can certainly do.
Okay, so here's the other thing. You mentioned low profile. So low profile, is that equal to or less than the 2x4 that's laying on the roof right now?
It would be equal to, at most half an inch. So it would sit about, the panels are going to sit about 4 inches. The 2x4 is actually technically, I guess, 3.5.
Correct.
So there would be maybe another ½ inch. If you look from the pictures, if you scroll down to the next page, you can see that it's actually extremely difficult to see.
Okay, how do you unmute it?
It's funny, but you can see it, and that's why I was asking about moving them up, because the further away from the eave they get, the less of that you're going to actually perceive.
Yes.
So, a few things. Thank you, Tim, for your presentation. Holly, were you going to say something about HSAB just a minute ago?
Yes, sir. HSAB did take a look at this.
Yeah.
And they did take a look at the view, and they did say that the 2x4 was visible during the view. They
Yes.
recommend, just to your point, they recommend a setback of 1 feet off the eave line if possible. Also to stand off the section to be constructed so the panel is no higher than 2 inches off is what they were recommending. I guess on the specs, I think is where it was indicating. Those were their comments, so.
Okay. All right, thanks. Okay, board members, and you know who you are. Val, should I start with you?
You can.
Okay, great.
I'm struggling with this because of the OHD and with the contrast of the roof and the panels. And I do appreciate, thank you, Tim, for the offer of the black roof. I think maybe for me, if the whole entire roof was black, I could be coerced into an aye, but as it stands, I'm still a no.
Okay, thank you, Val. But you did hear what she said, right, Tim?
Right.
Okay, I just
noted.
wanted to make sure you got that. So let's hear from the other board members. Carrie.
I drive by here almost daily and I look almost daily. And yeah, you see the tiny profile of the 2x4, but you don't know what it is. It's just like another line on the roof. I agree that if this is black, the whole roof should be black. And I appreciate shifting them as far back away from the Main Street side as possible. And I know you did that. And I agree, if they could just be pushed up towards the ridge a little bit more, you might not see the profile at all. And those are my comments.
Okay, that's great. Thank you, Carrie. Diane.
Refresh my memory. Why is he putting them on an east dormer?
Well, because the ridge runs north-south, that means that his only exposure is going to be on the east and or the west.
Right. I just wondered how much sun he was getting on the east to begin with. In that case.
Well, it's a fairly flat roof, so the sun will be pretty good. I mean, the fact that it's a flat roof works to the advantage of getting the sun and also making it more hidden from Main Street.
Okay, I couldn't remember. I remember you had said it before, but the thing, it had gone from my mind. I think it's important, I've said before and other people have, that we do this according to our rules that govern the solar panels. I think if it moves up, I don't know from your drawing how much upper you can make the west elevation or the east elevation. It looks like if they fill the entire dormer. So I have a question. I guess I would like to see how you are going to do that, in as much as Hashab and we have asked that it be moved up some inches so it's not visible from the edge of the roof. That's it.
Thank you, Diane. So listen, let's look at the north elevation for a moment. If this is at all accurate, this drawing would indicate that the panels could slide up closer to the ridge and get more setback from the eave. So two takeaways, Tim, here. I think everyone's pretty clear on this. One, the whole roof would need to be black. And two, if you push those things up so that they were closer to the ridge than they were to the eave, then you're going to minimize your visibility of that edge. So I think, could you take that now and go back and work it a little bit and see what you can come up with?
Sure.
Okay, so I'm going to take a vote on this. Can somebody give me a motion?
Motion. Visions.
Thanks, Diane. On that motion, Carrie.
Aye.
Val.
Aye.
Diane.
Aye.
And I'm in favor of motion carries. Okay, we're gonna go to
Thank you,
26.
everybody.
Thanks. We're gonna go to 26 Westchester Street. Tell you what, let's see. Okay, 26 Westchester. Oh, yeah. We're down to 3. Oh, wait, actually, Mullenden was Stephen. Okay, good. We have 4 members on this.
Good.
Okay, so while we're setting up, I'm going to reiterate the board, myself, Diane, Abby, and Stephen Welch Mullenden on this one. Okay? And I see Mirka.
I'm here.
Mirka,
Yeah.
why
I
don't
don't
you-
know, Holly, are there any comments from,
What?
I'm just wondering if Holly has comments for us. She's mute though.
You're not allowed to hear those yet. So what we've changed our format. So
Okay.
Holly's going to take pot shots at you after you give your presentation,
All
not before.
No problem. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Okay.
So yeah, so I'm ready anytime Holly is ready to show the
Okay.
screen.
Hey, oh, there you are. Abby, I thought you had disappeared. Abby, come back. Where are you going? I saw you try and sneak off. Okay, here we go.
So, suspense. Anyhow, so we know the location of the property. We do know it's abutted to Lily Pond.
Yep.
And the mostly big concern itself repetitively was the formality of the design and the visibility of the design. So first of all, just looking at the design itself, I am using only Goshen irregular stone, and with the upper patio, I just try to have a little bit softer edges. For the water feature itself, I eliminated the entire middle patio. Right now, it's just the lawn. The water feature itself is just having the little outline of the natural edges. And the stairs, the stone stairs rolling through the landforms would be the pre-existing, which are already in place. That would be the first concern, which been over and over reminded to me with the design itself. So I really stripped the hardscape to the bare minimum and try to bring more natural, soft lines to the hardscape itself. Regarding the screening, I eliminated the entire portion on the west side of this water feature and the property line. Initially, it was the access part to the lower yard, so all these area would be planted. Therefore, I doubled the screening volume, including all the evergreens, which would be planted between the existing maple trees. And plus I surrounded the entire water feature with the more planting, which is more, initially I suggested some grasses and perennials. Now I would work more with the evergreens like inkberries, cletras, something more which contain the structure of the plants throughout the season. And of course, I thicken up the periphery planting. The comment is the visibility because of the access to the lily pond through the abutted property, which I marked up in a dash line on the southwest corner. I did little research on southwest corner. There's the 2 lines. That's how right now the public travels to the lily pond. I did little research, and there is no really easement on this property to access the lily pond. This is something which I guess just public got used to, but it's not on, it's nowhere on a record on a registry of deeds or the Bracken survey plan. So I just wanted to point out that this access, it's more like a trespassing, and it's a public access, which my client doesn't mind, but it just feels a little harsh to say like it's visible because people have access kind of walking through their property. In addition, I just provide more cross-section illustrating the planting. It's more in an illustrative way, but I just really want to show the layered and volume of the planting, and again using the Goshen stones as an irregular organic material. And the last picture, the last page shows more of the water feature itself. Again, it's just really soft outline of the hardscape. Well, I'm sorry, this is the existing vegetation or the existing situation as of now. You are well familiar with these photographs at this point, which this is the corner, the middle picture was the corner of the visibility. And this is the kind of the feature which we would like to just really simplify and just wrap it in a garden. I think that's the all comments or the changes I've done.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. Is
Mr.
Diane?
Chair.
I'll start if you want.
Okay, that would be great. Thanks. Oh, you know what? Sorry, Diane. Holly, did we have anything?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we do.
Okay.
So there were concerns on the size of the pool. There were concerns about it still looking monolithic. And it should be not so rectangular, taper the edges, stagger the stairs looking back at the house, mix of evergreen, views from the west, views from the pool. And there was a request to have like these cross sections, which I know Stephen had requested. There was a request to have an extension or a cross section from the patio down to the lawn at the pool level, so from the opposite direction. And then I also want to mention that I did actually go out to the site. I saw Abby there. Abby and I were walking at Lily Pond together. We just so happy at the same time. And this is the view from the public perspective. Looking in, you're still standing on the part of Lily Pond Park. The path is over here. You can see the markings, which thank you for having those, America. It's you can indicate the visibility, and there, it's concerned on that retaining wall that's going to be on this location. And then I wanted to point out this is the neighbors at 24 Westchester, where you can see the existing water feature. If you look really closely. And looking at it, it almost looks like a patio from the public's view, not necessarily an actual water feature. So I just wanted to point that out for the commission's.
Yeah, it's not Holly, that strange cement corner that you just had a picture of, that was an old foundation of something, but Holly was referring to something further in to the picture.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. That square corner of something is just
No, this is back behind the grass is, there it is, yeah. Back by the house.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, thanks, Holly. Let's see, Diane, were you gonna start?
Yeah, I was going to ask, well, I wondered how deep the spa was.
It's 3.5 feet.
Okay. It was brought up to my attention that there are sizes, certain size requirements to be called a spa. And I don't know. I don't see that it's going to work out, because we seem to be able to see it no matter what Mirka does. The spa, I think you could probably disappear. I'm not sure about the water feature, and no matter where you turn, even though there's vegetation now, some of it is not going to be there come winter. And I don't know. I think it's a very difficult place to secure our particular requirements here, and maybe they have to have the spa and not the water feature. Is just a suggestion that I have.
Okay. Thank you, Diane. Stephen.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. If we could flip to sheet 5, please. Yeah, it's the last one, Hal. Just so you know. So I have two concerns. One is I agree. I think the steps, if they could be staggered with respect to the depth as opposed to stacked, more akin to what exists now, that would be helpful because I think it softens that edge up with the green showing the grass. Basically, you have small landings at the top of each of the existing steps. The other is I think that the spa, the water feature will be okay there, but in Miracle, it may be the software, but I think there needs to be some self-editing with respect to the number of the variety of plant material used for screening and the layers in terms of how deep it is. I think really what I would suggest and what I'm looking for is screening that looks naturalized, or at least it looks natural in place. And it doesn't really draw attention because there are a wide variety of plant materials. And to contrast that with the image, and again, it could just be the software, it looks very overgrown and more dense than it needs to be. So those are my comments. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Stephen. How about you, Abby?
Well, I think the problem lies in the site trying to see the lily pond and have a spa at the same time. I think it's conflicting because if you have both, then you're going to see directly into this landscaping. So where, I mean, it's just that the path that Mirka referred to comes off at the bottom of Wesco Place and serpentines around to the lily pond, and it's clearly marked land bank on either end of that little path. So on the left side, as we're looking at the drawing, on the left side there is a serpentine path, and it's marked clearly land bank, and that is public. So
well, somebody should notify the land bank that it's going over this piece of private property.
At that one corner?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that the people on the left, I mean, they could certainly move it off that corner. But do you understand my point? I mean, I'm trying to say that you can't have both. You can't have the view of the Lily Pond Park and have like a spa of that size with and get privacy. So those four windows, you can't have both. Anyway, I wanted to know on the left-hand side, how high is the wall? You have a wall indicated on the left-hand side. I wanted to know how high that was.
2 feet. That's 2 feet.
All along that side?
Yes. And if I may even follow up just with the screening when.
Sorry, just let me finish. All the way from where you have a Goshen stone patio, all the way down to the existing tree, is that, or whatever, that's only 2 feet?
Yes. So it's 2 staggered walls, 2 and 2, just to help with the existing planting and the hedge, just practically not to disturb or bury the plants. So yes, that's 2 and 2 feet.
Okay, so I don't know how you're doing that, but no, I believe you. It just in my mind's eye, I can't.
actually see that going on. And what is the vegetation between the
Hey,
end of
Abby,
the property and the
Abby,
lily? What?
I'm very sorry, but I've got to be on another Zoom call in 6 minutes. So we have to conclude this and I need to close down this meeting.
Okay, so I'm not in favor of a water feature at all then, and I think it's still too formal. Thank you.
Thank you. I have nothing to add. So if you can satisfy the other board members, Mirka, you have my vote.
Can I just have a one quick comment, and I know you have to go, but I just want to just bring one thing to the attention. When I show from the last page, it does shows like a view of the property from the lawn, but not from the lily pond. I am proposing the full, if you stop even wholly on this cross section, I'm proposing the full screening along the property. So this image, which Holly just pulled, it kind of shows how it looks if you are in the property, in the middle of the lawn. I do not expect to have a full view of the lily pond from the house. There is two layer of the screening along the property line. There might be maybe a little peekaboo views, but I'm not.
Should interrupt and make a motion to hold for.
Yeah, thanks. You made a motion to hold for revisions?
Yes, I did.
Okay, thank you very much, Diane. So on that motion, Stephen.
Aye.
Abby.
Aye.
Diane.
Aye.
And I'm in favor. Motion carries. Thank you. Now, all the rest of this stuff, Kathy, is already posted for Monday, correct?
Yes, Mr. Chair, just briefly, I emailed you before the meeting, but Matt McEachern would like to postpone the meeting for 5 South Water Street tomorrow.
Oh, shoot. Damn.
So, yeah.
I was so looking forward to having meetings almost every day this week. So, wow. Okay. So, so hold on a second, Kathy. The takeaway from that is that we're just not having a meeting tomorrow, correct?
We are not.
Okay. Very good. So, John, did you have something that you needed to say? Because I got to close the meeting really quickly. John?
Yes, there's a meeting tomorrow, 10 to 1.
No, there is not. That meeting has been canceled, John.
Okay.
Okay, it'll get rescheduled for later on, okay?
What about Monday?
Monday, there is a meeting. Yeah, so that's our 4:30 meeting.
Oh, Monday instead of Tuesday. Thank you.
Monday instead of Tuesday because of the TV. Okay, folks, listen, I'm sorry that I have to run, but thank you for sticking it out. We got
Motion to adjourn.
Yeah, okay,
Yes.
thanks. On that motion, Diane. Abby.
Aye.
There's Diane, Abby, John.
I'm thinking about it.
No, you're thinking about it. Don't think too long, okay, friend? Okay. You're in favor, right? Okay, and Val?
Aye.
Okay, and I'm in favor. Thank you, everyone. See you on Monday, 4:30.
Bye.